at the Santa Rosa Junior College Adelante program. How many of you guys have gone to Adelante? Raise your hands. Woo! Shout out to Adelante. Yay. So about 20 summers ago, we were looking for a science teacher for our middle school kids. I have a comadre, his sister, and she said, hey, well, my brother, is finishing the credential at Sonoma State, and he'd be great for that. So I talked to Pedro, and he was interested, and he came along. Well, my goodness, I am so glad I did that, because what he's done for our students in our program is amazing. I mean, every day, his voice is well recognized because he's loud, he's funny, he's inspiring, and he just makes the students' day go by quickly. And they're learning as they're smiling, they're laughing. Es increíble. Esta mañana cuando dejé a mi hija en Cali Calmeca, where he teaches a first grade class, and it's taught science and PE, I asked her, I said, Alejandra, tell me one thing that you would say you liked most about Maestro De Luna's class. And she said, Mommy, I didn't feel like I was in class. I felt like I was at home. This is where the tears come, because I felt like it was part of my family. Y de eso se trata. Todo lo que hemos escuchado esta mañana es de que estamos en familia. Y todas estas personas que han escuchado el día de hoy han sido igual que ustedes. Todos hemos empezado con principios humildes. We've all come from very humble backgrounds. And I know I'm not going to take Maestro De Luna's wind, because he has a wonderful story for you this morning. So with no more ado, I want to present with a fuerte aplauso, Maestro Pedro De Luna. Adelante.
¿Se escucha? All right. So, muy buenos días a todos. I'm really happy to be here. It's an honor. I was very nervous at first. I've never spoken to more than 350 people, right? I'm like, there are going to be 350 people here. I'm like, híjole, va a ser muchos. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But you get a free lunch. Órale! Where do I sign up? I'm there. I'm extremely happy, because as I walked up here, I started to see a lot of familiar faces, people that I've worked with, people that I've stayed up studied with, people who opened the doors for me. And when I mean open the doors, I mean giving me opportunities to learn and become a great teacher. And throughout the years, I've just felt stronger and stronger as a person. And when these opportunities happen, we really need to jump on them. We need to help each other out. We're a familia, right? Now, I'm not going to be going like, arriba, tal high school, tal, because that's not the way to do it, right? We're Latinos. We're going to go like this. We're going to go, if you're from Michoacán, a ver los michoacanos. A ver los de Jalisco. Zacatecas. That's me. I'm going to throw it out there. Usually at the fiestas, you hear that, you're one person, arriba Zacatecas. All right, if you're wondering why I brought a chair here, it's because I just love to move around. That's the way I do. I always use props, and I always like to do things. What am I going to do today? Today I'm going to give you an idea of what it is to be la diferencia. What does it mean to be la diferencia? La diferencia to me means that you're special. La diferencia to me means that we're different, that there's something about us. There's something that makes us understand nuestra gente. And I'm going to go in a little time machine, and I'm going to give you an idea of what Mr. De Luna lived, kind of like lifestyle that I had, the things that I did. But I can't do it alone, so I brought my little musiquita here. Let's see here. We're going to do a little sound check because, pues ya, no quiero que sale mal. Okay, a ver. Allá atrás, ¿se escucha? All right. So my life starts off very simple. Like many of you, at a young age, I knew la diferencia, or I recognized la diferencia when my mom told me to sit down and watch TV as a 5-year-old boy. I'm a 5-year-old boy. She's like, mijo, siéntate a ver tele. And I'm like, well, ¿qué puedo ver? Right? Because I knew my mom was very strict about what I could watch. And she said, mira, siéntate a ver este programa, te va a gustar mucho. So I sit down, and I'm like, a ver qué es, a ver qué es. And I'm like, you already got me with the music, right? And I'm like, 5-year-old boy, really happy, right? No, imagínate the characters, right? And you start watching El Chavo del Ocho, and you're like, yeah. And you get, you start picking up the characteristics of the characters, and, you get in trouble, and your brother hits you, or your sister hits you. And it's just, that's who we are, right? We grow up watching Chavo del Ocho, we get a glimpse of it. Now, my parents were very also pro-English. They wanted me to learn English. Not necessarily because it was better than Spanish, but because that's what we're here for. We're here to be bilingual. So she sits me down and puts me, she goes, watch this show. Now, many of you are like, oh, ¿qué es eso? Back in the day, there was a show called Sesame Street, right? Ahora sí, ¿verdad? Ahora sí. And as I was watching Sesame Street, I would always try to make the connection, right? There was a Latino actor there that would say, talk to you, and the show was in English, but they would teach you a little bit of Spanish. And I remember running up to my mom, Ama, I was watching Sesame Street, and they taught me how to say, hola. Spanish for hello. I mean, it's Spanish. And my mom said, okay, mijo, and moms, Latina moms are going to be very supportive. They're like, mi mejillas. And she's like, ¿te gustan? Like, yeah. She's like, is it like Chavo del Ocho? Kind of. There's a Chavo en el barril, and in Sesame Street there's an Oscar en el bote de la basura. So, that's what it is to be la diferencia. La diferencia is that you're living in two cultures, two worlds, but absorbing both of them and taking them in. So you get a little bit older, and I'm growing up, and my mom, is out there cleaning the kitchen or cleaning the house, and one day she tells me, Pedrito, come over here. I want to introduce you to somebody, someone really important, someone que te va a cambiar tu vida, someone que te va a hacer levantar tu corazón. And I'm like thinking, is it God? And my mom always, was really Catholic. He was really pushing. No, mijo. His name? Juan Gabriel. Ven. And she would grab me and teach me how to do a ranchera, right? I'm like, I can do this. Turns out it was a trick, right? Because as soon as I started getting really good at las rancheras, she gave me a mop. Así como las rancheras. And I was like, but you start to learn, and you learn about the cultures. You learn about your own culture, the United States, your culture, the American culture, the Latino culture, and you start absorbing, and you learn from lessons, right? Because there was one time I learned this lesson.
Hey baby, ¿qué pasó?
I hear the song, right? I'm thinking, wow, that's a good ranchera. That's a really good ranchera. I like that. So I get home, and I tell my mom, Ama, hey baby, ¿qué pasó? La mirada que me dio, she was like, and I start recognizing that there is a diferencia, and that some of it I'm going to take with me, and some of it, I better be careful, right? I better not use it too much, right? And you start to grow up, and you become, that 10, 11-year-old, and you're going to the family parties, and you're at the family parties, and you hang out with your primos, and you're like, primo, what are you doing? What are we going to do, right? So I'm a 12-year-old at a Latino party, but there's only one thing to do. Video games, right? Te sientas con tu primo, and you're like, oh man, órale. Yeah, it's fun. I can't believe you got this game. And you're playing video games, but you need to go and get something to drink. So you have to go across to the sala, and ahí están los tíos. You walk by, you hear the music, right? So you're playing Nintendo over there, or you're playing your video games. Y acá están los tíos aquí con su cervecita, su bebida, right? Now you have two choices, right? If your mom was smart, she was like, mijo, go over there. No mires esto, mijo. But some of you, and you know who you are, the proud one. You're like, Mijo, tráeme una cerveza. ¡Ay, te voy! ¡Ay, te voy! Right? That's how it is, right? So you go back to your video game and you're playing, right? And this is who you are. You're living a world where you're playing Nintendo, but Chenta's playing in the other room. Then, of course, you get mad, Mario dies. And I'm already telling you my age there because Mario obviously is one of the old characters. Because Mario dies, and you're like, ay, se murió Mario, híjole. And your tío looks at you and goes, mijo, ¿por qué estás enojado? Es que se murió Mario. And you know your tío, right? No te preocupes, mijo. Tragos amargos, mijo, vente. Vente, mijo. Vente, tragos amargos, mijo. And that's just how it is to be la diferencia. This is who you are. Now, I may not be connecting with all of you, but that's how it is sometimes. And that's how my life was. And eventually you grow up and you become a teenager, right? And you're like, all right, ¿dónde vamos, ma? Because you do everything as a family. You go and you go to your quinceañera. Right? Oh, see, no todo this. Oh man, you're gonna talk about quinceañeras? Yeah. You go to a quinceañera and you hear the first song. And you're like standing there, and your primas and your tías, and they're like, come on, it's a cumbia, it's not hard. Ándale, es a cumbia, tú puedes, mira, muévete así, mira. Al lado, al lado. And sometimes, te doy $20, órale. And you're like, and the cameraman's walking, you're like, and you start doing your cumbias, and that's who you are again, la diferencia. And it gets better, right? Because then you start learning, well, cumbias, quinceañera, dance with a girl. And then you become like the master of la cumbia, right? You're like, okay, I'm ready. And they're like, cumbia time. You're like, cumbia time. Ahora sí. And you have skills, right? You have these mad skills, and you're having a good time. And you love life because that's la diferencia. You're enjoying two cultures, you're enjoying your life. And then something happens. In the case for Mr. De Luna, I heard a song that changed everything for me. I heard a song that made me jump over from my Latino side to more my American side. The side that was like, oh wait, I don't want to do too much cumbias. I want to be like the coolest, baddest vato around. And I heard it. Now, if you're the George Lopez generation, you're like, I don't get it. George Lopez, I don't get it. But some of us remember this song as being the baddest song to cruise with. And you would be in your car, doesn't matter what kind of car, but you'd be like playing your lowrider song going. You'd be like throwing up the Anybody would be there, right? And you'd be like jamming it and blessing it. And this song opened up the Chicano door for me. And then someone told me, he's like, Chicano, you know, you're Chicano. And I'm like, well, I'm kind of Mexican-American, but I'm kind of Mexican, but I'm American. Jans, esto Chicano es, vato. And I'm like, okay. So I start getting absorbed by this culture and the way things are. Not hating on it, loved it. It was one of the best times of my life because it felt like, wow, I belong. This is who I am, right? So I start dressing up a little bit more like, here we go, cholo, right? And that's just how it was at that time. That's who I was at that time. And girls, you don't get away with it. And some of the girls are like, my mom told me never to date a cholo. But you're guilty too, because you guys, the girls are like, I never date a cholo, never. And a couple years later, what are you doing with that guy? He's my angel baby. The girls are like, es que está tan guapo. And the Chicano side of me starts taking full control. Like I am feeling like I am untouchable. And even if someone wanted to say something to me, and they call me whatever, you don't work, you don't do anything, you're not doing anything in your life, you can't be a lowrider all your whole life. And think to myself, yeah, I can. Right? In reality, I was wrong. In reality, I needed a lot more. But at that time in my life, that's always the way I was thinking. That's the way I felt. And you get it more, right? You're not only listening to your Chicano music, but then you start getting into the, any type of hardcore music, any kind of music to get you going. So then you're like, Ama, no quiero escuchar tu música. I got my boombox here. I got my radio. And you're like cleaning the house. And your mom's looking at you going, ¿y este qué le pasó? ¿Qué es eso, Pedro? Así, mira, así, right? You go, no, mijo, a mí quítame esa música, right? But for me, that's what I liked at that time. That's what it was. That was me. That was defining me at that moment, right? So she's pushing and she's going, mijo, I want you to listen to more Spanish music. I want you to listen to más música mexicana. And I'm like, okay. So me pongo los audífonos, right? And I put on the audífonos. And so, ahorita voy a limpiar, voy a poner los audífonos. And I'm moving around, right? Limpiando, calladito. And my mom's looking at me, mira mi bebé, qué bonito. That's how it was. That's how it was for me. Sadly, this led me to a large separation with my parents. And I don't know if you've ever done this or ever had this feeling, but I just didn't connect with my mom and dad. I wasn't feeling part of their group. Now, I know they love me. Oh, and I know they would do anything for me. But I just didn't want to be part of that group. I wanted to do my own onda. I wanted to be my own man. I wanted to do my own things. And this led to a big separation. Once to the part where we would sit down for family dinners, and I'd be like, I want to be here. I want to go with my friends. I want to go hang out with my homies, right? And it was really sad because there was moments when I literally did not want to say one word to my mom or dad, right? And it just felt really awkward. I remember just sitting there, and this song for me explains the best. Man, I was sitting there looking at my dad, and I was like, gosh, right? And I used to remember, like, ¿qué pasó? Like, we used to do La Pulga, we used to go to the store together. Now I'm looking at my dad going, but inside I knew I was doing something wrong. Inside I knew, in my heart, that it was wrong. I shouldn't be talking to my dad, I should be making a friendship with my dad, but it was hard. Andábamos tan separados. Our worlds were so different. And of course, I did the ultimate. I ended up giving 100% of myself to who I thought I was at that time. And come 1992, beautiful high school graduation, all the names were being called out, all the names but mine. You see, I'm a high school dropout. I've been teaching for 20 years. I've only said it twice out loud. I'm not proud of it. I'm not happy about it. But the 2 times that I've spoken about it, it's been in this kind of setting. I want to tell you all that being a high school dropout isn't necessarily my shiny moment in life, right? It just literally sucks. And the worst thing about all this was that on graduation night, I was driving in a car with my dad past the ceremony because we were working and we had a route. We were working together in a route. And we were doing la ruta, and I drive by the graduation ceremony and I see the graduates, my class. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I didn't graduate. And it hit me at that very moment. Now, I'm not going to say I was a genius, and I'm not going to say, no, but finally, it just hit me. Me dropping out had nothing to do with me. Me dropping out had to do with my parents. Let me explain. They've worked so hard to get me to graduate. They worked so hard for me to be a winner, for me to just walk by, and it was all about them and their hard work. Pero aquí, Mr. Perfect, Mr. Creído, oh, he thought it was like, I don't really care. It's just, I'm dropping out. No big deal, right? I'm like, It was all about my parents' hard work. And I felt very tiny. There are very few things I regret in life, but dropping out from high school was the one thing. Now you say to yourself, what a keynote speaker. This guy's talking about dropping out of high school. ¿Qué le pasa? No, lo que pasa es que I want to show you the changes you can do. La diferencia is about learning from your mistakes, adapting to what you have and who you are, and making yourself better. So when you ask yourself, oh, I'm at the JC right now, I don't know if I want to be a teacher. Well, I was at the JC. Well, I have a hard time in high school. I had a hard time in high school. Well, I'm at Sonoma State. I don't know if I'm going to graduate. I don't even know if I want to be a teacher. I was at Sonoma State. I'm here 20 years later to show you que sí se puede. Que sí se puede cambiar. Que sí se puede mejorar. Y que sí puede tener el éxito. You are all here because in the future, 20 years from now, maybe you'll be up here talking about how you made it and your examples. Now, we're gonna need somebody, right? Because right now I'm feeling like William Levy, right? I'm like, mírame. But in 20 years, I'm gonna look like Don Cheto. Right? So I'm gonna need you guys to come up here and talk, right? I'm gonna need you guys to be here and be the representatives. My friends, I'm here to tell you that we're all in the same boat. We're all in the same pathway. And I'm here to tell you that even though I fell, I stumbled, I picked myself up, I made it through, so can you. And now, if you're saying to yourself, well, hold on a second, hold on. I don't plan on dropping out. Oh, hold on, I don't plan on going to the General Junior College. Oh, hold on, I'm not even sure I want to be a teacher. That's not the message. The message is, okay, when you find it hard, when you're telling yourself, that's so hard, think about the other people who have found it hard and made the way a successful path. If I can do it, you can do it. And I'm here to tell you that la vida es bonita. Being a teacher is the best feeling. There are thousands of stories I can tell you of how it feels to be in a room and guide our youth. I've worked with the middle school, I've worked with high school, I've worked with even first graders. Cutest story ever. Trying to teach a first grade kid how to be polite. Niño siempre le dice a la niña, ay, quítate. Finally the girl, she's like, Maestro, siempre me dice Cristian que me quito. Cristian, mijo, be nice. Be polite, mijo. You gotta treat her nice. What do you think you should do? And in my mind, I'm thinking, say sorry, right? I'm like, what do you think you should do? What do you think you should do? Bring her a quarter? These are the fun stories that happens when you're a teacher. Being a teacher, you get this experience of helping out others, jumping in, being supportive, and being the role model. Now you might feel like you're not a role model yet, but you are. Just being here. I'm not going to say names, but there's 2 or 3 people out there that I saw during the summer program, the Adelante summer program. Man, they were raw. These kids were raw. And I didn't think they were going to make it. And they're sitting here listening to me talk. And you know who you are because I can see you. By being here, you've already changed your path. By being here and listening and being part of this, your future will shine. My friends, mi mamá me dijo, when you do something, don't ask for anything, right? Don't ask for it. Just say, I'll take the gracias. Today, I want to say gracias for listening to me. I hope you've had the opportunity to really think about yourself and say, you know what? If De Luna can do it, I can do it. Okay? Muchísimas gracias and have a wonderful day.